We are live.
So what's the game, Shane?
It's RCB versus RR, and if Sidvi were here today, he'd be saying RCB versus Har. Which would be very ironic because RR can apparently do nothing.
I don't
but
think
win
he
at this
calls
point.
RR Har.
No, knowing him, he'd make his PJs, man. Come on.
No, but again, this contest very exciting contest because first of all, both teams are on 10 points.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's the net run rate that separates them. Because of that 68 all out for Bangalore, their net run rate is the worst among teams ahead of them and behind them also for that matter. So that's why it's going to be very important for RCB, and the fact that RCB defeated RR in that first game earlier between the two sides, this makes for an exciting watch.
Remember, they had a positive net run rate before that game against SRH. It's now dropped down into negatives. That's
How do you lift yourself after a game like that?
I think they just need to forget about it. They've put that one game, one shambolic performance out of the way now, which we almost see every season from RCB. One game that they end up pulling off something, I would say incredible only, because even though it was incredible to see them get out for 68
capitulate like
after
that,
the kind of performances from Dinesh, I think the fact is Dinesh Karthik has also built them out so many times that we forget the three guys. I was looking at some stats, okay. Virat Kohli, Faf du Plessis and Anuj Rawat, if you combine all three runs, okay, I think it's only 11 or 12 more than what Josh Buttler has scored alone.
Yeah. No, it does seem like a contest. I mean, you are saying RCB versus RR, but it clearly does seem like a contest between Josh Buttler and Dinesh Karthik, the two standout performers. And every time these two guys have done well, at the end their team have ended up winning. Right now the Rajasthan batting hasn't been tested, but how do they lift themselves from that 68?
I mean, okay, I have one quick joke to make here. RCB have some experience of lifting themselves from such situations. It's not the first time that has happened. So if anyone would know how to do it, it would be them. But again, I think it's what Siddhant was saying. You have to consign it to the history. You consign it to the trash bin.
Just
it
move on.
Matter.
Can't think about it now. The funny thing is, they got undone by a left armer in the last game, Marco Janssen. Okay, Trent Bolt is going to be waiting for them tonight. And not to forget, there's Yuzvendra Chahal, Devdutt Padikkal, who will be playing against their former side. So many subplots, and we saw Chahal fired up in that last game, even though his side lost eventually. But Chahal was fired up, took 3 wickets if I'm not wrong. So will be good
just
watching.
To give context to Shane's joke, if you haven't understood, he said if there is one team which would understand how to bounce back, it would be RCB, simply because out of the 8 lowest total in the history of the IPL, 4 feature Royal Challengers Bangalore. So if a team understands how to bounce back from a low score, then RCB know it better than most. Also, sometime, I don't know, these kind of matches really help. Take this season, SRH for example, had a very poor outing to begin with.
Yes.
And from there on have really done well. Same for Punjab, had a very poor outing against Delhi Capitals, were lost by a big margin, then bounced back immediately after that game to register a win last night. So it can, maybe that was what was needed in terms of how you need to bounce back. Any changes for the team you think likely for?
The only change they could be looking at, Rajasthan Royals, I'm talking about, is Ovid McCoy gave away 52 runs from his 3 overs. Okay. But I still think they might play him another game though.
Yeah, they won.
Because that one game, they'll think like, oh, let's just forget about it and try him again.
So the two players that just to look at Rajasthan first, then we'll get to RCB. The two things that really worry me, because we've been saying that Buttler is the one who's really firing. So what really worries you is because Riyan Parag hasn't batted a lot. So worries you in the sense you don't know what you're going to get. And Karun Nair also, he's played 2 games but hasn't had an opportunity, so clearly not going to drop him. And so he continues. So those are the only 2 changes they were most likely to make, but because they haven't been called into bat, I guess you can't drop them for that. So no changes for RR.
At this point, I don't see any changes honestly if they have to make.
Also,
I don't
hardly
think
see
RCB
winning combinations being changed.
RCB actually has reason to change. Anuj Rawat extended.
Anuj Rawat. He's probably not.
And what that
I want to ask you, would you guys put Virat Kohli at the top and remove Anuj Rawat?
Yes. So I don't think Virat is keen to bat at top. He's happy batting at number 3. I think the reason behind that is the fact that we know that Rohit Sharma has really spelled out what he wants from his team going forward, and in that sense Virat Kohli is that number 3 batsman going ahead to the World Cup. So if he's your number 3 batsman, I reckon that that's the reason he may want to continue playing number 3 in the IPL as well.
Yeah.
So that may not happen, but by default maybe asked to open, because if you're really looking to make a change, then Anuj Rawat is that one obvious change. If you remove him, you bring in either Patidar or Lomror, and can you directly open with them?
No.
I doubt. So in which case then Virat goes to
or
open.
make Suyash Prabhu Desai open. We
Yeah,
have seen
or
IPL
even
teams try
yeah.
some random
Very random
combinations.
things, yeah.
So maybe
Or-
that's one.
Or Virat opens and then number 3 Patidar slash Lomror, whoever you
I'm also
go
not
with.
too sure number 3 is.
No,
the way
because
to go.
RCB used to do this. Number 3 was also.
No, but that was their problem also. If you remember, they tried Shahbaz also in that role. That
they
one
had
year they
Patidar
tried
and
everybody.
KS Bharat. They-
KS Bharat,
Oh,
Patidar and
yes,
Shahbaz
yes.
Ahmed, all 3 were tried at that
Yeah,
slot.
so with that, but the other contest I'm really looking forward to is firstly 2x RCBM
That's what.
against their former team in Devdutt Padikkal and UZ Chahal would be fired. But again, the one that I'm really looking forward to is UZ Chahal and Ashwin bowling to Virat Kohli. That'll be interesting because UZ Chahal wasn't taken to the World Cup under
Yeah.
Virat Kohli's captaincy. UZ Chahal wasn't retained by RCB. Even though Virat wasn't captain, we know he had a say
He
in
would
the
have had some
team.
say.
Subplot.
So UZ Chahal playing against his former team, all of that would be fired up. And we know leg spinners tend to trouble Virat alongside left arm fast bowlers. So that's that. That's an interesting. And Ashwin also sometimes felt a bit
Miffed
ignored
by Kohli, yes.
while Kohli is
That's
so,
okay, but my problem with Ashwin is yes, he got 2 wickets in the last game, but he tries too much at times.
Yeah, and now that this will fire him up this contest, I just hope he doesn't try even more.
He'll
Like
try
some
even more,
some
right?
some crazy carom ball he'll try, some down the leg side ball he'll
At
bowl.
one point he developed a leg break as well.
Yeah.
No, he's been trying
he
so
is
many things.
also, which is stopped now. He copied Kedar Jadhav also. the
the-
Riyan Parag, Kedar Jadhav. whatever.
Under the sea level.
So he did that as well.
Another interesting contest that nobody is talking about is Hasaranga versus Sanju Samson.
Yeah.
Hasaranga has got
Got him
Samson out 4 times in 5 innings. And in like 15 I guess deliveries he has faced. Imagine you getting out to a guy.
In fact, in the last
4
match as well
times.
that they played, Hasaranga had him cotton bowled.
Yeah, that's what. Cotton ball, or I thought he was
Cotton bowled.
definitely
Yes.
caught. I remember, but
So Sarat Chandra is saying on the comment I made about the interesting battle between Chahal and Ashwin. His question is, and try and answer both of you. Very interesting question. With a lot of depth in it, so it will be tough to answer. He says, but will Virat be there when Chahal and Ashwin come along? Come on.
I mean, we'd want him to be there.
Will he be there?
Will he be there on current form? Maybe not. Maybe not. I mean,
Who gets him?
I'll have to say, I did
gets
not pick
Trent
him in my
Bolt.
fantasy side.
Who, Virat?
When
You
I
don't
was
believe in law of
fantasy
averages?
11. No, but now that when everybody's talking about it, I feel like maybe today is the day Virat will fire. Maybe he can.
but Trent Bolt, remember, that would be the test.
You
for him
think
also.
Trent Bolt
Yes,
gets him?
very well.
No, it will also depend on when he comes into bat. If he is opening, if he's batting at 3, your problem is that Anuj Rawat hasn't stayed there.
Exactly.
Except for
So-
that
So he's
166
almost opening
runs.
only.
He's practically opening because Anuj Rawat is
Every
getting
game
out.
he comes in the first or second over, then
Yeah.
he's under pressure as well.
I think it's good for him to open because with a lot of pressure, sometimes you're a bit anxious sitting in the dressing room or whatever. Just go open, no pressure.
Plus he'll be alongside someone like Faf, which helps.
Yeah. And no scoreboard, nothing, starting
But
from scratch. Just
Faf
go.
in 8 innings, 2 innings, 176.
And that's it.
And then 197, 96, sorry. Apart from that, he has done
He's also
nothing
done
as well.
nothing.
Answer the question that Sarat Chandra has asked. Sarat Chandra Yalamarti, who I know is from Hyderabad,
He has asked whether Kohli
will
Will
be
be there
there
to
for
face
that
the
battle that I
spinners.
said will be juicy to what Chahal and.
he'll be there.
Oh.
He'll be there.
Okay, that's a good call. Sahil Bhatia has talked about Ashwin, saying he used to copy Sunil Narine as well.
Right.
Ashwin has tried so many things that people are like, he did this also, he did that also.
If you show newcomers Ashwin from like 2016 to 18 times, you would not be able to pick out what bowler he is.
But wasn't it the game against RCB only that Ashwin tried too many things? When he got smashed.
Only thing missing was some medium pace. If he had come in with a run up and then bowled seam up.
I don't know, DK hitting him for sixes, sweeping and all. Yeah, that he should not do. Not try
Parth
too
is
many
saying,
things.
where is Mumbai's food better than Delhi guy?
He's at home tonight.
He's enjoying his off day. Ironically, speaking of food, he was not very happy to be off on a Tuesday because it's a no non-veg day.
He's like, but I won't get to eat non-veg. I'm like, so? And Saransh, who was making these kids, is like, आपके हिस्से का मैं खा लूँगा यार. You go. You go.
Sankalp is saying, continuing from our comparison of which team looks like what, is saying RCB is not Spurs. RCB is the PSG in UEFA Champions League.
But then PSG
Because they always had big players and teams to win the tournament, always start as title contenders and then don't.
and then fizzle out.
Yeah, PSG of UEFA Champions League.
No, the funny thing about
not
PSG is
League One.
the funny thing about PSG is they let go of Thomas Tuchel, okay, after he lost in the final of the Champions League. Next season, he came to Chelsea and won it with them, and PSG was still without a Champions League.
Not only Thomas Tuchel but Thiago Silva. Who also
He also came to Chelsea and won it.
Okay, Benjamin Andrew Stokes is here with
Hello, Mr.
Sports
Ben.
Today. We're missing you in the IPL, Stokes. He's saying he missed the callbacks for our meet and greet because he was in an exam. So what should I do now? Our producer will get in touch with you.
Yeah.
So that's that. Jairaj Rana is saying Virat will score 60 plus today. We've already had some sort of prediction where Shane isn't too optimistic. But
I
Siddhant
said-
is.
Yeah, this is one prediction where I'd love to be wrong just for the sake of being
Yeah, but
guilty.
that's fine. You made. Now Mangal is saying Rian is just 20 years of age, so please don't make fun of him. We have not made ever.
He's
made fun of
20.
him.
We have never made fun of Rian Parag. What are you saying?
I love
Yeah.
that bandana. Fashion statement.
No, we keep
We
keep
love a lot of
singing
things
also.
about it.
No,
Yeah.
we keep singing also.
Hamara Parag. Yeah.
Yeah. How can I- So Rahul Vasudeva is saying RR is looking like SRH of 2019. Batting is practically running on Buttler and Samsung like Warner Bairstow and decent bowling lineup. RCB should sort Anuj. That's true. We actually spoke about it. RCB sorting Anuj. So that is something that they need to look at. But you said reminded of
SRH, he wrote. RR is looking like SRH of 2019. Well, I have to say, Rajasthan have looked good because Buttler has been in sensational form.
he's
And the
in
fact
superhuman
that
form at
even
this
if Samson, Padikkal, like they started off well, last game Samson, Padikkal both fired, but even if they weren't firing, Shimron Hetmyer was. It's just that they're batting, one or the other person has clicked for sure. At least two people have been firing for them. And that's why they have got 5 wins in 7 games.
How do you think, what must teams be thinking? How should you get someone like Buttler out? Has anyone noticed any weakness in Josh Buttler?
I think bowling wide Yorkers is the way to go
Yeah.
to him. The moment you bowl it in his arc, you get tonged. No, I think so in the last 2-3 innings, I haven't
wide
seen.
Yorkers mostly towards the death only. What do you
No,
what
I
do you
think so.
want
Start bowling right from the beginning because then he has to try and do something else, right? Also, the fact is when you're trying to bowl him near the stumps, he scoops them also. He plays the lap shot also really well, and that's why I think teams, and I saw that with, I'm not sure whether it was Punjab, trying to bowl those wide Yorkers can actually be the way to go.
Interesting. Siddhant points out that wide Yorkers is the way
Yeah.
to go for Josh Buttler. We'll see if teams have also tried to. I'm sure teams are thinking about it. They have a lot of analysts looking at the footage, figuring out what the weakness is. So Siddhant has a point. We'll see if that happens. Meanwhile, RCB have won the toss, and we'll quickly let you know what they're doing. If Shivam can help us out, please. In
take us
terms
to the
of
scorecard.
the
And they've
toss is
chosen to
done.
bowl.
They'll
Shot
bowl.
corner.
Yeah,
They have,
they are bowling. first.
Also,
So
Pune
RCB are bowling.
2 games did not happen here, the Delhi games.
Yes.
Oh,
So the
yeah.
pitch will be, I guess, much better than what was
Fresher.
supposed to be.
Much fresher than those Wankhede pitches for
Yes.
sure.
What do you think, reckon? What should be done to Buttler, Shane?
Okay, so that's an interesting thing. But actually, even aside from wide Yorkers, I've actually seen not too many people try and bowl normal Yorkers to him. That's an old-fashioned thing which I think
No, but in terms of Yorker, what I noticed, he is really using the crease very well.
He is.
You miss it by an inch, he'll smash you for a
exactly.
six.
But then that's what he's doing to every other ball. So at least the Yorker.
I think you need to bowl away from his body. That's the key.
Most stroke makers, tend to use spinners, especially leg spinners against them. But with Buttler, I don't even see that as a weakness. He's been playing spinners very, very well. I don't know. I'm going to take a punt on Harshal Patel to trouble him today. I'll tell you why. He's very different from every other bowler. And the only one thing I don't know. Again, it's just a assessment. I think because no type of length is really working against Buttler, no spin is working, turn isn't working against him. Maybe it's the change of pace that Harshal has, which is very unusual compared to any other bowler. I think that might just trick him into playing that one false stroke, one stroke that he doesn't time, because there's not been a single stroke that he's not timed. So I'm guessing because Harshal is a different kettle of fish. I can't remember how he bowled to him in the first game in terms of
I'll have to check that
Harshal
out.
play that first game. It's a possibility he might have missed it as well.
No, Harshal started. He missed the games in the middle, so he may have played that game. I can't remember the scorecard of that game, but I don't know. I think he could be that ace up their sleeve to get Buttler out, because if you're making a game plan against RR, he should be. Buttler is the guy.
That was the game he bowled 1 wicket for 18 runs.
Oh, so see,
so he's
had a
that
good
person.
game. And Buttler, how much did Buttler get in that game?
Butler scored 70 not out.
Maybe they didn't come head to head for a long period of time, because Harshal tends to come only post 10 overs.
Most of the times he's bowling
and
at the
by the
death.
time Butler's finished his job, he's got you the 70 or whatever you need. So, since Benjamin Andrew Stokes love our food comparison, he's saying today's battle is Mysore Pak versus Churma. That's right, Dal Bati
Dal
Churma
Bati
and
Churma.
Mysore Pak, both things that we love.
And I'm hungry.
Samson tum ho surma.
Okay, so we were talking about Ashwin. What hasn't he done? Sankalp Sahu is pointing out Ashwin once bowled a bouncer also to George Bailey. So he's done it all. So you can see him up. Good one on that, Sankalp.
People don't forget.
No.
That's the fun
The
part.
internet never forgets.
Actually, this word loading would often be used when you're talking about Virat, but Love Rami has an interesting question and a very obvious one. So, ton loading for Buttler.
I mean, it wouldn't be a
at
shock.
the rate that he's going.
No.
That's an easy answer.
That's an easy. That is why I'm saying no. He has scored 2 already, boss. 2 in a row. If he scores today again,
He scored 3, isn't it?
he has scored 3, but I'm saying 2 in a row.
So
In the middle, there was a 50 sandwiched, if you remember. 50 for where Lockie
When has he
Ferguson
not had a
got
good
him with
innings
that
at this
Yorker.
point?
True. Jairaj wants to know, why doesn't RR give Parag a chance at number 3? Any takers for that?
Oh, by the way, Anuj Rawat has been dropped.
Oh,
There
finally.
you go. We discussed that.
And Rajat Patidar is going to get a game.
So Karan had asked this question, Nikhil, how long should RCB stick with Anuj Rawat? Karan, if you watched us show from the start, we had said that's what they have to make a change. In terms of, it's the same team for Rajasthan Royal.
No.
Kuldeep.
No, they have removed Obed McCoy.
Daryl Mitchell is
They have
coming.
got Daryl Mitchell and Kuldeep Sen is playing.
Yes. So Trent Bolt, Prasidh Krishna, Yuzi Chahal, and Ravi Ashwin, Hetmeyer, Riyan Parag is listed at 4, by the way. Jairaj, just to let you know, listed.
No, he's listed at 5. Riyan
Is
Parag.
it? No,
Yeah, yeah.
there it
Chevron
showed.
Hetmeyer is 4, Riyan Parag is 5.
No. The broadcaster had him at 4.
Right. And all interestingly, if we're looking at that, then Virat Kohli is listed as an opener.
Yes. See, that's what I said. Now, this is exactly what we discussed in our pre-show, by the way, that Anuj Rawat is the one who needs to go out. He has gone out, and now by default Virat would have to open, because Rajat Patidar has come in. You're not going to open suddenly with him, so he goes in at number 3. I think that's the position he's played in. By the way, if you remember previous seasons, Bharat and Patidar is what they were rotating with. So Patidar has played 3, unless, like Siddhant pointed out, unless they send Suyash there, Prabhu Desai, to open, you don't know, but I guess they will not make that change.
So,
I think for Virat Kohli it's best to have him open.
Could be. He could be opening. Listed to bat at number 2 maybe. I was saying that the 2 changes that RR have made, they have dropped Karun Nair. They have dropped Karun Nair, they have dropped Obed McCoy, they have gotten Daryl Mitchell and they have gotten Kuldeep Sen. By the way, not many people know that Daryl Mitchell can also play like an all-rounder. He bowls as well.
Oh, I haven't seen him.
Well, to be fair,
No, he bowled for a bit at the T20 World Cup, but he bowls for his domestic side. I know that for sure because he was bowling a couple of overs for them consistently in T20s as well as one day.
That's why the balance now, and he's now definitely going to bowl because you've got Karun Nair out of that team, and I thought that would be sort of a replacement in terms of a batsman. But
he's again another opener.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
But I don't for his domestic side, he bats one down though.
So he may go one down, never know.
No, but Samson
goes at 4. No, Samson batted 4 if you remember the start of the season when they had
Jaiswal and Padikkal. No, but they kept changing it also. Padikkal batted at 4 as well when Samson came in at 3.
Maybe, see again, the thinking here could be because the Karun Nairs and the Riyan Parags of the world weren't getting a chance. So they got someone like Daryl Mitchell for the bowling option. Maybe thinking that because teams, even though they were doing well, teams were getting a lot of runs against them. If you remember, they won that game.
They've got 5 bowling options, proper ones there, Rajasthan, and then they've got a 6th and a 7th in the form of Riyan Parag and Daryl Mitchell.
But I don't think now, after what happened to Riyan Parag last game, they would be very confident. So that's why they've got a Daryl Mitchell also as a backup in terms of bowling. Now actually their bowling is looking better for Rajasthan. We used to keep saying the problem with Rajasthan was their balance wasn't really coming off because of that poor bowling. They only played with 5, bowlers, regular bowlers, which also we weren't impressed with a lot of them because Prasidh has done well in patches but could be expensive on certain days.
Same with Ashwin.
So same with Ashwin. Kuldeep Sen has done decently well.
But last game he got smashed.
Very expensive.
So that's what I'm saying. So you basically, again we go back to that point and a lot of people would not like it. 2 bowlers.
Actually, even Bolt. Even Bolt has gone for a few runs in the last couple of games.
Still,
but in terms of quality, he's got to be the best.
Bolt and Ashwin.
He's got to be the best left-arm pacer in the IPL. There. Trent bowled that way.
2 best bowlers that you've got in that. So can we just see the team, Shivam, please? The balance. I think what do you think? Samson at 3 or Daryl Mitchell at 3? Because Buttler, Padikkal are opening.
I think they'll keep the order. I think so. They'll move Daryl Mitchell at number 5 or 6 only.
Can't be 5. Not after Riyan Parag.
You never know. You never know. Riyan Parag, Hamara Parag.
No.
Hamara Parag might just be the.
But Kohli is opening by the way tonight.
That's
that for me is the biggest talking point.
No, don't go by the team sheet.
No. I think Faf said it.
Oh, he said it.
With Kohli going at the top.
Then that's perfect. And we said it before Faf did.
He said Rajat Patidar comes in for Anuj Rawat and Virat will go at the top.
Before Faf did.
So time to pick Virat in my side now.
Actually that's true. I need to make my team.
This could be the game changer we've all been waiting for. All of us want, if you're an Indian cricket fan, you would want Virat Kohli to fire. It's been an extended dry run. What's really been, worrying in terms of Virat Kohli has been the 3 or 4 different emotions you've seen with him in terms of his dismissal. So you saw him get angry at one point when he got out. The other time you saw him just laugh it off as in, say as if like, what is it that I could do? More like helpless. And then the third time where he looked really confused, like looked defeated as we spoke about it that last game. So various different emotions, which kind of tells you that things are not in his control anymore. So even though when he was going through bad phases, what you would see with Virat was that ego that he had or that confidence that he had that, listen, I'm the best. Fine, I've not got runs now. I'm going to get you runs very soon. And he was convinced. You could see that in his face. You could see that in his body language. For the first time with his body language and his expression, you're getting an idea that he may not be that confident about his batting anymore. Maybe that talk to that man in the mirror, as they often say, where he needs to remind himself that, listen, you're Virat Kohli, arguably one of the best batsmen to have ever played the sport. You could conquer any bowler you want. Maybe with that, and with him opening, put everything in the back of his mind, all talk about.
Do you think they hype him up as a coaching staff? You tell Virat, see, you are the best player in the world. You have to play like that. Stop thinking about it.
Yes. Sometime with anyone who has to, like I'll give you an example, a lot of actors, even the best actors sometimes, they have self-doubt. They are worried that, so they do have these, support circle around them who keep putting that self-confidence in them, saying that, listen, you're the best. Look at that. Keep reminding them of certain things they may have done, or certain situation, or certain scenes that were really tough and how they pulled it off. And so it helps, and I'm sure it happens with players as well. I know it happens with a lot of anchors as well. Sometimes, you're doing a big show and you're nervous, no matter how many times you've done it. Sometimes it needs a producer or someone to tell that, oh,
you'll do it. You'll do it.
You'll do this, you'll bring. So these things help, and I'm sure there would be people around Virat telling it. But I think what really helps about, opening, not opening hardly makes a difference, because he's literally been opening only.
Yeah.
Because Anuj Rawat hasn't batted very long. But what happens is, no scoreboard, you don't think anything, but just have your eye on the ball. You just come in fresh, just see the ball, hit the ball, kind of an approach you can have. And when he does that, then he is.
Then we know he's at his very best.
Yep, he is one of the best in the world.
That is true. Also, the fact is they've kept faith in Suyash Prabhudesai, who looked amazing in that first game that he played.
And
great fielder, but then after that, the couple of games that he played, again, did not score many runs.
Ritwik Bojai is saying, hey Nikhil, I guess you will talk saying what should Virat do after today's match. Saying that
he's predicting his poor run of form to continue.
Oh no, man. Again, every day we answer that question.
Ritwik. Akash is saying, if Virat fails today, then definitely I'm going to organize a Havan in the coming season. Might help.
Might just help, who knows?
I'm a big believer in Havans.
मेरी तरफ से भी थोड़ी सामग्री डाल दीजिएगा.
Sahil Bhatia saying, life is humbling Virat. He will be a better cricketer from here. That's actually a very interesting comment. I sometimes do think about it. Has it humbled him to an extent? Because sometimes what happens when you're doing that well, I don't blame him. It's not just Virat. It could happen to you and I. When you are so good, you feel you're invincible, you think you can walk on water. Maybe he reached a stage where he was thinking, and maybe that was the reason for his success. Because he thought he could, as I was saying, because he could think, that I can walk on water. I hope that fine, if it's humbled him, I don't know what must be going through it. If it has, but I still want that arrogance, that ego to come back, because it's much needed for a batsman to perform at the top level.
Thing is, that sort of arrogance and ego only comes back when you're actually, in full flow. So it's a bit of a vicious circle in that.
No, but it's
But I think with Virat, the thing is, that's the thing that fires him up. He's up for the challenge, he's up for the contest. When he is in that sort of a mood where he's feeling arrogant, he's not liking somebody and he wants to show them that, boss, I'm better than you. That's the kind of Virat we know has done well over the years, and that's the kind of Virat I want to see as well.
Yeah. Karthik M has an interesting question. He's saying, why only batters can get retired out? Bowlers should be given the option to retire out in the middle of an over.
But they do have that option. They just don't bowl them.
Baby over.
Yeah.
Baby over, like in gully cricket, baby over.
But what they can do is they can just pretend, oh, I pulled a muscle.
Oh, I have to go inside.
This
reminds me of a very funny incident I'm telling you. This is just a fielder, by the way.
I'll also tell you an incident.
Ahmed Shahzad, I think this was some game in the UAE, was trying to take a catch or something, and he dropped the catch, okay? And he acted as if he's gotten hit on the face, whatnot. There's an ambulance that had come on the ground to take him. I'm not even kidding. Ambulance comes, takes in. 5 minutes later, Shahzad walks in to the field. I'm like, there's just an ambulance came to take him. What is this? And Shahzad is like, I'm okay. He was clearly, he had dropped that catch, I'm telling you. And he was acting as if he got
much like diving in football, which happens.
No, but this is not diving. This is like, I don't even know what kind of simulation is this, that you are acting as if you need an ambulance that has come out on the field. You could have just walked up and went off, nah? If you were feeling something.
No, just
5 minutes later, he actually walked back, and even the commentators were like,
that's to cover up.
What just happened?
In fact, we were this exact same question 2 days ago, the match that we were playing at Firozshah Kotla. So we had a moment where one of our bowlers bowled 5 or 6 continuous wides, and the commentator there said that maybe यहाँ पे भी वो baby over कर देना चाहिए या retired out होना चाहिए. But as I said, the bowlers have an option. You just have to say, batting, the problem is that you cannot like say, oh, go retired and then come back, that sort of a thing. So, but you could do it in bowling. Sarthak Sehgal is saying Virat is a different beast in blue jersey. He was a lone warrior against Pakistan as well. That's true, Sarthak. But if you look at the blue jersey form also, it's been patchy. Again, comparing it to Virat Kohli standards. I was looking at his test average, which has fallen below 50. After a long time, his test average, if you were to take like 2 years, was in the 30s, if I'm not mistaken, something like that.
Actually less than 30 for
Yeah.
somewhere around 28, 29 it was, 28.11.
So
if I'm
that's
not
also rare. But by the way, when he was in good form, he was a different beast in IPL also.
Yeah.
I think this is,
2016 if you look at
Yeah.
it.
That was
this has
freakish.
been, so it's overall not a great time for Virat Kohli. I don't think you can really, look at IPL separately and Indian cricket separately. Love Rami says UCL and IPL final both on
May
29th May.
29.
Let me tell you, Love Rami, that has happened so many times I can't tell you. It's happened many a times in IPL history. I remember IPLs where I used to go to Chennai for the finals and I had to do the show from the stadium and stuff, and I used to like be cribbing that how will I get to the hotel to
And
see
watch
the
Barcelona.
finals. Yeah, those years they were playing
Those
finals.
years. I get it, Nikhil. I
No, but
can
even if they are
understand
not,
it.
I still wanted to watch a
I can
Champions League.
understand the
Champions League
sentiment.
final is Champions League final.
But so it's clashed many a times. I don't know whether it's done by design. They actually say, Champions League final. Oh, okay, usi din kar do IPL final. Will be interesting. Man City versus Liverpool final. He thinks.
Yeah, I also
very
think so.
like-
But
I
you don't
also
know.
think so.
They've already done a preview for tonight's game. Check that out if you haven't already. Pritish Ranjan is saying now it's a Riyan Parag question. Guys, watch out. I am not raising that subject. Neither is Shane nor Siddharth. This has come as a question to us.
Yeah.
He's asking Nikhil sir, what's the future of Riyan Parag? If he doesn't get proper chance to prove himself, the season he got very limited chances. Can RR try to make him at 10 overs remaining, make or break? Actually, you're right in a way. He hasn't got too many chances to bat. That's because Josh Buttler and Hetmeyer and Sanju Samson.
And he's
all are
predominantly
doing
a batsman. So his bowling is very part-time, even in his best of times, very part-time. So
yes.
he's predominantly a batsman who's not gotten enough chances to bat. So
Okay.
trolling aside, I mean, come on.
He has paid you today.
Ritu wants to know, Nikhil, who do you think will roll our eyes in the World Cup?
Roll eyes, like
what,
in
disappoint
disgust. In disgust.
Yeah, I think so. Rolling eyes like
England maybe.
team player, I don't know. Ritvik, be specific. Ashish saying Darren Mitchell inclusion will strengthen the RR even more. Decent bowler and underrated striker of the good ball. Good by RR. I agree.
Yeah,
actually, this was much needed to give balance to their team. And we used to keep saying that, listen, the day Buttler doesn't really come off, then can this bowling attack defend a small total? Didn't seem like, but I think you're right.
They tried Nisham, they're like, no, not happening again. Let's try Mitchell now.
Yeah. Super chat. Dean Simon had a super chat. Dean, just send me a question without a super chat. I'll take it. I may have missed it. I'm sorry. There were a lot of questions. So,
Yes.
Bhavya is saying, Nikhil sir, I'm a CS student, so because of exams, I'm not able to watch the whole match. So I catch up with you guys and get all the updates.
Thank you very much.
That's
and good luck with your
exactly
CA exams.
Our aim, Bhavya, that you join
clear
us
your
for
final.
show. We tell you all the important bits and ignore the unnecessary ones, so you don't have to waste your time. Varun is saying RCB won last 5 against RR. Will it be the 6th? Yeah.
And also, all 5 of them were in a way comfortable victories.
Yeah.
They've not been like, they've beaten RR comfortably in every game. Never struggled against them in the past few years. So maybe not 6-time lucky. Not.
I don't see that happening actually. I think I would pick RR as just very slight favourites going into this game.
You're picking RR?
Yeah.
We'll get to the prediction
We'll get to the
shortly.
prediction later.
Karan says, guys, thoughts on Hasaranga? He's done well, but worth the price? I don't buy his batting skills at all. Yeah, he hasn't actually got a lot of chance
To bat, yeah.
to prove. But whatever little I've seen him, I'm also not too kicked about his batting.
No, actually, I think he's a decent batsman.
I know he is, but
No,
the price you paid
a guy
is not for his,
who's been batting. By the way, at times they were promoting him at number 4 for Sri Lanka.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was scoring runs. He was scoring 50 odd runs. So I don't think we have seen enough of his batting in this IPL. Plus, you have to say it's also very different. The kind of situation you walk into, how many wickets down, and there are so many batsmen in this RCB lineup because they bat till number 9 now. with Harshal Patel and Hasaranga coming in at 9. So
Also, what's the price? I mean, it's very hard to determine because I think he was the first leg spinner out of that pool when. So they were always
I think Chahal that way was the
unlucky because he was last, which is.
And that's why everybody had picked their leg spinners by then, and Chahal eventually went for just 6.5 crores. Imagine he's now your purple cap holder and he only got picked for 6.5 crores. For Hasaranga, they paid
10.75.
10.75. So that's a lot of money.
There is Mohit Gulecha says, I watch your show every time, but I still think this time you're not taking my question because I think, Nikhil, you don't like anybody praising Ara.
Huh?
I don't know where you got that idea from. And Mohit, I remember your name. I've taken your questions 100 times, but if you have that impression, I can't help it. Siddesh is saying if Virat scores a 50 today, he will throw a big party. Please invite us.
Yeah,
we'd love that.
We love parties.
Siddesh, please. We'll send you the address. If not the party, then send us the leftovers.
Yeah, we're good with
Also,
that.
no.
You know how much we
Where
love
is
our food.
Siddesh from? I want to know that first.
You know how much we love our food.
Yeah.
If you've been watching our shows, you know that.
I thought we love more than food.
Cricket fan wants to know, how do you watch the IPL without ads? No solution, sir.
Yeah, even if you're streaming it, you'll be getting
Yeah.
ads. So.
Yeah.
That's
pay good
where
money to
the
stream it.
broadcasters get the revenue from.
Yeah, so
Ads are necessary.
Yep. Just to go back on Karan's thought about Hasaranga, the bowler also, he's done okay-ish.
Okay.
I still can't believe that
They let go of Chahal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's no patch on Yuzi Chahal. You could have retained him. If not, at least if you wanted to bid that much money, you would have bid for Chahal.
Chahal also, yeah, and Chahal at least would have been happier.
Exactly. And he wouldn't have been a foreign player. So
No, but they
that would
retained
have allowed
Siraj, which I thought was baffling in its
baffling
own
decision,
way.
yeah.
Because I was like, what? They retained Siraj, not Harshal Patel, not Chahal. And they had the option of retaining one of them at least.
Yeah, Indian players.
Absolutely.
They would have retained both.
Webab says, sir, I believe Finn and Karan Sharma in place of Anuj and Hasaranga is the best bet for RCB. Hasaranga, no chance they're going to drop him. He's been one of their better bowlers this IPL.
Yeah, he took 4 wickets in
Yeah.
one game. Has been among the wickets actually. Last game,
Yeah.
though, he only bowled 2 overs. No, not last to last game. Because he went for 20 runs in his 2 overs. Last game, it did not matter who bowled because RCB only made 68.
Yeah.
Okay, who's going to answer this question? Shane will.
Okay.
He says, Rassi, McCoy, Jaiswal, Kuldeep, Nisham all dropped after few matches. But how come Parag is never dropped in 2 years? Very curious and baffling. Answer it.
Oh man, I honestly, I couldn't answer that question for you properly because I myself have been wondering, how is it that they do chop and change their 11 a fair
Yes,
bit.
he's right. He's pointed out all the players that they've done it.
And he's never actually been rotated in and out. And the thing is, I understand, he's a young player who you have and you want to blood him in. But to do that, you have to let him bat.
Yashasvi Jaiswal is not young.
No, I'm just saying maybe Parag is someone who they see something special in. But then you have to give him chances to play as well because he's even, he's barely batting that much. His bowling though has been hit. So let's leave that out.
What, he has bowled 5 overs, picked 1 wicket, that one lucky wicket somewhere he got.
He must be
Apart
the
from
lucky
that,
charm. You never know.
I don't know.
That's possibly the reason why they are playing him every game.
Karan is saying, hi guys, I live in London and now have an alarm set just for your pre-match show.
Thank
the
you.
match starts with your show and not with the first ball.
Thank you very much.
That's good, thank you.
Such nice encouraging words. Thank you so much, Karan. Lovely to have you as well. Maybe someday we'll do a meet and greet in London. Who knows? Ashish is saying Virat opening today feels like a good move by RCB. Just feel with Duplessis around, he will find his mojo, a right person to be at the moment. That's
Exactly.
true.
That's what I said.
Also, what we said is that no scoreboard pressure, like 0 for 0. Just come, fresh mind, take on the bowling.
Kohli does enjoy the company of South Africans.
Oh yes.
He's very good pals with both AB and Stein.
Also, not to forget, AB and Faf are also the closest of friends simply because they grew up together, both of them.
Faf is
Same school.
no. You're talking about AB.
Faf and AB both from the same school also.
No, I said the captain Faf is primarily because of Virat Kohli. He wanted Faf as captain. There's a prediction by Bharveer Singh. He's picked RCB and Real Madrid
Oh,
for
interesting.
tonight.
RCB and Real Madrid.
For the night game.
I'm going to pick City though.
Let's see. I still love
Even though I support the other Manchester
Varun is
team.
echoing what we said before the toss, saying Chahal versus Virat contest is going to be mouth-watering.
Yes.
He also said that he hopes he'll last till the 5th over.
Yeah, well, of course, to see that contest, he has to last, and I think he will. That'd be more. Yeah, but then Trent Bolt.
Yeah, that's my worry always with them. That Trent Bolt will just
Coming round the wicket.
Oh,
Remember the ball to KL Rahul? And Rahul himself said that he had no clue about that delivery exactly.
Kaushal Jha saying, why are you guys not sitting in your usual position? Kaushal, this is also another position. We thought let's give you a proper
sports dugout
yeah,
feel.
exactly, like a changing room feel. This is exactly how the players sit in a lot of changing rooms with their jerseys hanging. The drawers here usually have their kits and shoes and everything in their wear. So I thought, why not? We just like to keep changing things. San is saying highest score of IPL loading. That'd be interesting. 217.
222 was the highest
22.
score, right?
222.
Yes. 2 for 222.
Yeah.
We made fun of it.
And who made it? Rajasthan Royals only made it.
Yes.
I guess.
Deep Punisher is saying.
Deep Punisher.
The Punisher.
The Punisher.
Punisher.
The Punisher. Oh.
The Punisher.
He's saying Kohli in front of Bolt, third deck incoming loading.
I'm not going to lie.
I don't
It's not, maybe he thinks that that's a possibility because both are, all our Indian players just.
But when it comes to Buttler 100, you're saying no, law of averages.
No, I think it's very
Buttler
possible.
100 also
it's
coming.
Very possible. Very
Yeah.
possible.
I think both.
I don't put anything beyond Josh the Boss at this point.
No, I don't think another 100 coming. Come on. That would be
Freakish as hell.
More than Bradman-esque. It'll be like another level only. We'll have to call it Buttler.
We'll have to call it Buttler-esque.
Yeah, if that happens. Is it right that Riyan Parag is from one of the owners' born town? I don't know. So who are the owners of Rajasthan? No, I don't think so. It's owned by a consortium.
Yeah.
No. But who? So Riyan Parag is from Assam. Their CEO is from Assam, which I know.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the owners. So.
But even if you go there, I mean, Parag when he first joined Aura was very highly rated even then. So, I mean, yeah, he's become a bit of a meme now.
The CEO is from Assam. Or there's a foreigner also, no? In one of the big management.
Yes, yeah, the CEO. The CEO. No, he's the CEO.
That's why I'm saying there's somebody else from
Lachlan
Assam.
Murdoch.
But yeah, the CEO is a foreigner.
Lachlan Murdoch.
Yeah, but they also like a management, whatever, some sort of position.
No, not this.
Not this guy.
Not this.
He's in the,
This is something else. Yeah.
in the management. I'm forgetting the name because he was with the Kings management earlier, if I'm not mistaken. Something like
could
that.
be.
Yeah.
So predictions time,
Yeah,
guys.
quickly.
If you write Rajasthan CEO, it comes Chief Electoral Officer.
Quickly, predictions.
All right, predictions. I think it's RR batting first, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Rajasthan score 190 and win. I paid to Josh the Boss 100, so that's it.
So Bangalore scoring 190, you said?
Rajasthan scoring 190
sorry,
and defending it, you said.
And defending it.
I am going to say 180 and RCB winning.
Yeah, I'm also going to go, I'm going with 185.
So 80, 85, 90.
Yeah, and RCB winning.
Oh,
By the way, the
Spinner, Shabazz is starting. Maybe that's their idea how to counter Josh
he has
the
been
Boss.
very economical in the last few games, so
You're wondering.
makes sense. And by the way, the CEO is Jake Lush McCrum.
But this guy in the management must
Yeah,
cricket
there's some
operations or something,
the guy who was I think so
With the flag.
during the auction.
Yes.
Maybe he's from that.
Yeah. So, okay. See you guys. Lovely company. Don't forget to download the Gamezy app. Make your fantasy teams there. We sure hell have. We do.
I made Buttler captain in 2
Give
games,
me
by
the
way, so
money.
That's my strategy today.
Simple. We'll see you in the middle of
You know,
the
I
innings.
was looking
Bye.
at 50 to 60% people have made Butler captain or vice captain.
I'm sure.
And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, but